Hello, my name is Monika Schwarze. I'm from Germany. I'm working at the Pestalozzi Gymnasium in Unna. I made this PowerPoint presentation with Madame Odile Jeanvrin. She's teacher in France at the Lycée Institut Le Meunier in Caen in the north of France. We are working together in a program, Comenius program, and you see the logo from eTwinning. We also worked at eTwinning. We made a twin space for progress of the project and the results. We like to you see the photos of the two teachers, and we like to compare some topics that are taught in Germany and also in France. It's necessary at the beginning to talk a little bit about the different school systems, the two national school systems in Germany, in my country, North Rhine-Westphalia, and in France. The teaching hour is 45 minutes, in France 55 minutes. Sometimes there are 2 hours, one after the other in Germany. The school day, there's a big difference in Germany from 8 to 1 p.m. or sometimes to 2 p.m. The school day in France is from a.m. To 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, a very longer school day. If we compare the school weeks, in Germany we have 39 weeks, in France 35 weeks. A big difference is in Germany all students are mixed up in elementary school until 10 years, and then they are separated in different types of schools like Gymnasium or Realschule or Gesamtschule. In France, all students are together and mixed up till 15 years. So we like to make a comparison of one chapter of a school book for one topic. On the left you see the German school book that is published by the company Schrödel. The authors are Lagenmüller and Schmidt. On the right side you see 2 books from Nathan as publisher, Transmet as the name. The authors are Barra, Barros and Saran. Thank you, the authors, for using some pages to explain. So, we would compare German and French lessons from different points of view. First is we tried to compare introductory activities to quadratic equations, and quadratic equations and quadratic functions are the topics we like to compare. Sometimes pictures of school books explain you a lot, though perhaps you can't read all the things that are written there. So in both books we find introducing activities. In Germany there's a principle. There are always some activities that lead to the wide field of both topics, activities that are rather easy, that lead to the topics quadratic functions, graphs, equations and applications of it. On the right side, on the French book, they use, and that's a big difference for introducing activities, they also use besides exercises, they use graphing calculators and the software GeoGebra for geometric constructions that lead to the topic quadratic functions. So we would like to compare theoretical contents. What is quadratic functions? I'm talking about the German book, or the German way of teaching quadratic functions. what about the properties? And they try, or we try to teach a combination of mathematical theory and application that show the specific of a parabola. We put a lot of intention and attention on the combination and using a lot of applications from various fields from real life. That's typical for German books. And if you can see on the right in the French book, they just get into, sometimes, rather often, they get into theory rather quick. So exercises in both books are various. Getting the German book, getting to know graphs and representation of solutions of quadratic equations. A very lot of different exercises. There are explanations wanted. There are some exercises where students have to match graphs and functions, applications and interpretation of problems, and modeling too. They also have in exercises, of course, training material of pure mathematics. On the right side there is a page from the French book, Cups and Variations. At this point there is more pure math and preparations for the next topic, solving quadratic equations. From graph to graph. The German books tries to find a systemization for ordering graphs of quadratic functions and pointing out the specific properties. This is also done, but it is 1 year later also revised in the French book. You see it on the paper on the page of the right side. They also try to integrate in the second year. They teach a deeper understanding of quadratic functions. They try to integrate root functions and polynomials and hyperbolic functions. That is not done in the German book. After a long chapter that has to do with graphs and representations, the German books prepares for the different ways of solving different types of functions. There is a lot of explanation, and we put a lot of intention to have both the graphs and the representation, the properties of the graphs. So you see solving particular cases in both cases before the general solving of quadratic equations. You see simple types of quadratic equations on both pages. On the left the German pages and on the right the French pages. A combination of they do both a combination of solving quadratic functions by geometry, by graphs, graphically, and by solving in the normal way by changing terms. So on the these are 2 pages from the French book. As I told you before, you can see that they also deal with other types of functions, and you see on the right page how they teach or how they explain they explain how to deal with other types of functions. Solving particular cases, that means solving, being able to solve quadratic equations that are represented in different ways. It's on both books rather the same. The next comparison is how the book describes how to solve in general cases of quadratic equations. In Germany, on the German book, you see the simple formula for this equation power x plus px plus q equals 0. And later on, the more general formula, we call it ABC formula. On the right page, on the French page of the French book, you see they do it the ABC formula and explain it first. So another page of the math book for the older students. It is revised for a second time. We do it in Germany too, but we do some more things of quadratic functions, and we do it more theoretically for a short time when the students are 16 years old. So yeah, you can see left and right that the exercises are rather different and various from different types of application mixed with pure mathematics, with solving equations of quadratic equations. On the left side, you may have the impression that there is a little bit more text. If you look at different pages of the German book, you see that very, very often there is more text. So in Germany, teachers and students do also solving inequalities, but not very often and not very intensively. In the French book, you see some pages and exercises that deals with solving inequality qualities. And this is only in the French book. The topic quadratic functions includes also computer programming. Yeah, you see, there are a lot of different things if you compare the books, and you can imagine that the way of teaching and the structure is a little bit is different. But if you imagine that in Germany there is a separation of various students who are very good in all subjects at the age of 10 rather early, and on the other hand the French students that are all together until the age of 15, you can see, you can imagine that the school books and the way of teaching and the exercises cannot look the same. Thank you very much for your attention, and if you like to give some comments to us, please write us an email. We are proud and we will lucky to answer you. Thank you very much. Lach bitte nicht laut.
Hast du exportiert?
Ich habe nur Stopp gedrückt.
Okay. Also Stopp gedrückt.
Meine Version war, glaube ich, nicht die gleiche.
Wie lange hast du gesprochen?
Lange.
Du hast noch nicht gestoppt?